What if one day, a promising young woman with her whole life ahead of her suddenly disappears, only to be found dead under mysterious circumstances? This is the haunting tale of Annie Börjesson, a young woman from Sweden who was bursting with life and ambition. Born into a loving family, Annie was always an exceptional child. Her parents nurtured her talents, and by her early teens she was a proficient piano player, her fingers dancing on the keys to create melodies that echoed her zest for life. But music was only one facet of Annie's multifaceted persona. She was also an ardent learner, always eager to dive into the depths of knowledge. This thirst for learning led her to the alluring shores of Scotland, where she decided to further her studies. Scotland was a new chapter in Annie's life, a place where she could explore her potential and broaden her horizons. Annie's move to Scotland was filled with optimism and excitement. She was enchanted by the rugged landscapes, the rich culture, and the warm, welcoming people. She found comfort in the rhythms of Scottish life, and her studies became an integral part of her journey. She was passionate about her education, diving into her coursework with an enthusiasm that was contagious. She wasn't just studying, she was living her dream, thriving in a place that felt like home. Annie was more than just a student in Scotland. She was a friend, a confidant, a beacon of positivity who brightened the lives of those around her. Her laughter was infectious, her spirit unbreakable. It seemed as if nothing could dampen her spirits, as if she was invincible. But on December 4th, 2005, everything changed. Annie Börjesson was found dead on Prestwick Beach in Scotland. The initial police reports suggested suicide, but the circumstances surrounding her death were far from clear. The law enforcement's swift conclusion seemed to overlook certain peculiarities. While it's true that the police investigation was thorough, the evidence, or rather the lack thereof, didn't quite point to suicide. Annie Börjesson, a vibrant young woman with a zest for life, was found on a Scottish shore, far from her native Sweden. The details surrounding her death were shrouded in a fog of uncertainty. Her belongings were discovered neatly stacked on the beach, yet no note or message was found. This absence of a final word was a glaring anomaly, as it's often a common thread in cases of suicide. Further, a train ticket to Prestwick was found among her possessions. But why would she travel to a town with no friends, no connections, and then choose to end her life there? It was an unanswered question that left a gaping hole in the proposed narrative of suicide. Perhaps the most unsettling piece of this mystery was the missing CCTV footage. Surveillance cameras that should have captured Annie's last movements mysteriously held no record of her. A technological glitch or a deliberate erasure? The question hung heavy, casting a long shadow over the investigation. And then there was the phone call, a call made to her mother, just days before her death. Annie had spoken of being followed, her fear palpable even across the distance. Yet this crucial piece of information seemed to be brushed aside, deemed unrelated to her death. Each piece of the puzzle added another layer of complexity, another twist in this already convoluted tale. The inconsistencies didn't just stack up, they towered, casting long shadows of doubt over the official narrative. The more the story unfolded, the less it seemed to align with a clear-cut case of suicide. As the inconsistencies piled up, her family and friends became convinced that Annie Börjesson's death was not a simple case of suicide. Unsatisfied with the official explanation, her family launched their own investigation into Annie's death. It was a quest for truth, a journey that plunged them into a world of uncertainty and mystery. Driven by an unwavering love for their daughter, they sought to uncover the hidden layers of this enigmatic puzzle. They knocked on doors, combed through records, and pieced together fragments of Annie's last days. Their goal was not just to find answers, but to honor Annie's memory by illuminating the truth of her untimely end. The family's pursuit led them to request a reinvestigation of the case. They found discrepancies in the initial findings, inconsistencies that begged for further scrutiny. They questioned the official narrative, challenging the authorities to look beyond the surface and delve deeper into the circumstances surrounding Annie's death. In their quest, they uncovered new pieces of evidence. There was the suspicious man seen with Annie the day before her death. Who was he? What was his relationship with Annie? His presence added a new dimension to the case, a shadowy figure lurking in the backdrop of Annie's final hours. Then there was the mysterious voicemail in broken English. A message left on Annie's phone that seemed out of place. Its meaning enigmatic and its origin unknown. It was a tantalizing clue. A piece of the puzzle that didn't quite fit, yet couldn't be ignored. These discoveries fueled the family's determination, lending credence to their belief that there was more to Annie's story than what was initially presented. They continued their relentless pursuit, driven by a deep-seated desire for truth and justice. Yet the path to truth is often winding and treacherous. Despite their tireless efforts, Annie's family is still searching for answers, and the truth about what happened to her remains elusive. Their quest continues, an unyielding testament to their love for Annie and their unwavering belief in the power of truth. More than a decade after her death, the mystery of what happened to Annie Börjesson continues to haunt those who knew her. As we journey through the labyrinth of her life's final moments, we find ourselves at the crossroads of conjecture and reality, where every turn introduces new questions and few answers. Annie's story is a tapestry interwoven with threads of intrigue and speculation. Many theories have emerged over the years, each attempting to shed light on the shadowy circumstances surrounding her demise. Some suggest that she was a victim of a crime of passion, while others theorize that her death was the unfortunate consequence of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yet these theories remain just that, theories. One of the most pressing questions that continue to linger is the motive behind her alleged murder. What could have driven someone to take the life of a young woman known for her charm and vivacity in such a violent manner? Was it a random act of violence, a personal vendetta, or something more sinister? The answers, much like the perpetrator, remain shrouded in mystery. And then there's the man seen with Annie before her death, a phantom figure whose identity remains enigmatic. Was he a friend, a lover, or a stranger? His presence in Annie's final moments has sparked countless debates and added another layer of complexity to an already convoluted case. Despite the passage of time, the quest for truth continues. Friends, family, and investigators alike are still sifting through the sands of speculation, hoping to unearth answers that might bring some semblance of closure to this heartbreaking case. As we delve deeper into this unsolved mystery, we are left with more questions than answers, and the truth about Annie Börjesson's tragic death remains as elusive as ever. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. It really helps us out. Until next time, keep exploring mysteries.